Hey guys, Christina here, and today I wanted to share with you some delicious fall meals. So if you're new here, I am Christina, homeschool mom to 5 in the Canadian Maritimes. We also try to homestead, and it's a gorgeous fall day here, and I thought I'd share some meals with you because it's not summer where we want to have lots of cool meals or like no oven cooking, but it's also not the dead of winter where we want lots of soups and stews. We kind of have cool temperatures just above freezing at night, but then during the day, like right now, it's 20 degrees out. So I'm going to share some dinners that we're making this week, and hopefully it will give you some inspiration. So I was able to pick these beets and these carrots from our garden this morning. I'm going to go ahead and make a roast chicken with vegetables. I do it all in one pot, and it just cooks low and slow in the oven. So I'm doing it now. It is just after 1 o'clock, and it will be ready in time for dinner. So I don't have a recipe for this. We just kind of put it together whenever we make it with what we have. Typically we do onions, potatoes, and carrots. And then what other veggies we may have, we throw in. I've done green beans, mushrooms, gonna do beets today, just kind of whatever we have. Likewise, I don't have like a recipe for seasoning or anything. Oh, I just cut these really small. I meant to cut them bigger. Okay. That's what happens when you film sometimes. So usually what I do is just cut these into large chunks. And then we're just gonna kind of fill the dish up with a space in the middle to put the chicken in and nestle the chicken inside of it. Just gonna do it like that. So for the carrots, I like to just kind of do them in chunks. I find that this is a good thickness and size for them. So anything thicker than that, I'll like cut in half, or if it's really thick, I'll cut into quarters. And again, just toss them right in the pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these beets next. These are called boulder beets. They're a yellow color. And so I just peel them and then just gonna cut them into chunks and they'll cook. They look almost like potatoes like this. It's kind of interesting. And then I just have some traditional beets. These are the more regular ones. This is the cylindro ones. This one's a little bizarre shaped, but I'm gonna use this one. I like to do the potatoes last because I often put too many veggies in here, which is probably the case this time. I probably could have done with one less beet, but that's okay. So these have just been washed. I'm just gonna quarter most of them and toss them in. This is what it looks like. I'm just gonna toss a little bit of olive oil and mix it around just a little bit. I might add another carrot or two. I think I'll put the chicken in and see if I have space after. So I did add some Italian seasoning, some garlic, salt and pepper, and then let's see if I can show you. I made kind of like a hole in the middle or a well because I'm gonna place the chicken in there. Now normally I just get the chicken and put it in. However, this is a homegrown chicken, and we found some of them not to be tough, but tougher than we'd like. So I tried brining it. The bag, it clearly had a hole in it though because it fell out into the bowl, about half of it here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out of there and kind of nestle it right in the veggies here. Here's what it looks like. So I'm gonna put it in the oven at 325. I'm gonna check probably in 2 hours and see kind of how it's doing, and then I will adjust the temperature, but it's that easy. Just get everything in here, cover the lid. Sometimes we put soy sauce, sometimes chili flakes, so many different things that you can do. And that's just gonna go right in the oven like that. Here's the end result. It was fully cooked after 2 hours, so I just turned the oven way down until we were ready to eat, and then threw it under the broiler for a few minutes. It is definitely more liquidy than normal. That's probably a good thing. It's probably nice and juicy. So we're gonna go ahead and dish this up. And there's our dinner for the night. All right guys, it's dinner time again. Tonight I'm gonna make fish tacos with cilantro lime coleslaw. I call them tacos, but really I'm the only one who eats them as a taco. The rest of my family like to eat it with rice. So I have rice cooking right now. Usually I try and make the cilantro a couple hours before we have dinner because the longer it sits, just kind of the better it tastes. However, it's been a day and it's 5:30 already. It's late, so I need to get this made. And it's actually pretty warm today. It's 24 degrees. It's more like summer than fall right now. So let's go ahead and let's get this dinner started. So we picked our last cabbage of the year yesterday from our garden. Look at that. So I'm going to cut these up. Not sure I'm going to use all of this one. We'll see how much it makes. Then I had my daughter just go grab me 2 carrots from the garden. And then I'm going to chop an onion. And then I'm going to add cilantro, which I need someone to go grab because I forgot that. Garlic, mayo, and lime juice to it. And that will make a really nice kind of creamy coleslaw to put with the fish. So Nathan went and grabbed me cilantro, and look what he found. It's October, and he found a beautiful, perfect strawberry. These are like why I like the ever-bearing ones. I need more of those. That looks delicious and beautiful. So here's what it looks like. I start with like 2 big scoops of mayo, and then just kind of add the lime juice and mix it all in and see if I need to add more, which I did add some more. Usually I like a lot more cilantro, but we only have what's left in the garden to work with. But nice and creamy, so I'm going to go ahead and toss this in the fridge while I get the fish ready. So I have 2 pieces of haddock, and I believe these are sole. I have 2 pieces left. This is all the fish we have that kind of needed to be used up. I prefer to make this meal with tilapia. I just find that's nicer, but we'll eat whatever we have. I just have a baking sheet with tin foil, like a cookie rack, sprayed it with non-cook spray and put the fish on top. This is a homemade, it's a little clumpy, blackening seasoning. I've shared this before. And I'm just gonna sprinkle some on. Then I'm gonna cover it with tin foil and put it in the oven to cook. The rice is done, the coleslaw is done. Pulled some cheese out of the freezer. We don't have any avocado right now, unfortunately, because that is absolutely delicious on this as well. So there, that'll just give it a bit of flavor to mix with everything else. And we will get this in the oven. So here's how it came out. I find it is easiest to break the fish up, especially when we're using different types of fish, or we only have a little bit like this and we need to make it portion for everybody. We've got some jalapeno, the rice is done. This is what the coleslaw looks like. We've got some cheese and tortillas, and then we've got like apples and oranges alongside of it, and that will be dinner for tonight. It's another late day here. It's 5:30. So we're gonna make a really quick dinner tonight. Is meatball subs. I'm just using meatballs from Costco, a canned pasta sauce. I have some of my own tomato sauce, but I'd have to add seasonings. This is just faster. And I have actually ciabatta buns from Costco I pulled out of the freezer this morning. So that's kind of the base for it, but I'll show you how I make them. I've got some meatballs left over. I'm just gonna pour them in. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. I'm just gonna toss these in the oven at 425 for about 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them and then check on them and see if they need some more time. So I pulled it out and I've just cut them in half. I just find it's easier for everyone to eat this size. So I'm gonna put it back in the oven for maybe about 5 minutes, and then I will check and make sure they're all nice and hot and up to temperature. So I'm just going ahead and toasting the ciabatta buns. I'm gonna put some mayo on there, and then we'll just put the meatballs and sauce on there. This is all the homegrown lettuce we have left. I don't have any in the fridge, so usually we eat lettuce on it, but it'll just be a tiny bit today. We've got some jalapeno to go on it. We've got carrots from the garden, peppers. We got cheese to go on it too, and then we have some chips to go with it, and we have apples that we picked from the orchard to eat with it. So once they're all sizzling and nice and hot, just gonna take the pre-made sauce and just pour some over it. And then it's gonna go back in the oven to heat it all up. And then we'll put it on our buns. See how it's sizzling on the sides? It is nice and hot and ready to be put in the sandwiches. All right, today is a cool day. We're all feeling pretty cold here. So tonight's dinner is gonna be perfect. I'm making butternut, squash, cauliflower mac and cheese. I know it sounds a little odd, but just bear with me. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up one of our butternut squash from the garden. I have just a little one here. It looks big, it's not that big. And I'm gonna go ahead and roast this. Normally, when I'm not using like our own, I'll just cook a whole bunch and puree it and freeze it so it's all ready to use. I just have to thaw it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. So I'm gonna do it at 350 for at least half an hour, maybe more, and we'll see how it cooks up. So they ended up being in just over an hour and they're nice and soft now. However, usually I will roast them face down, and I decided to try it face up this time, and it's kind of hard on the top. I don't think I'll do that again. But while I let this cool down a little bit, I'm gonna go chop some onions and some garlic and some jalapeno because we like a little spice in our food. So I'm gonna get water boiling as well as heat up what I'm gonna cook. Cook the onions and jalapeno, make the sauce in. I'm gonna use the Dutch oven because I don't have a big like casserole dish, so I'm gonna use this. And then it can just add everything in and then put it right in the oven. Once this water is heated up, I'm gonna put the cauliflower in first because it is still a little frozen. Then I'm gonna let it cook a few minutes and I'm gonna add the noodles to it while I make the sauce in the other one. So I've got it in the oven here at 425, gonna do about 20 minutes till it starts to bubble, and I'll take the top off and let it crisp up. Here's the end result. Do you hear that sizzle? Delicious mac and cheese. So we're gonna eat this. We've got some salad and some fruit, and eat this cheesy goodness. Hey guys, so the next meal I have for you is chicken enchiladas, and I totally failed. I did not film a single thing when I was cooking this. I just completely forgot. But I'll give you a quick look at it and explain how I made it, and hopefully that will be an idea because it's a really nice way to have something warm, but it doesn't take a ton of time to make. So here is the end result. Again, I'm sorry, I did not show you. So I cooked a chicken in the Instant Pot and deboned it. I made enchilada sauce today and canned it so it's ready to go next time, which then makes it a really quick meal. I will try and remember to link that down below if you want that recipe. And then inside, I just cooked up some onion. And then I put corn, black beans, the chicken, cilantro, and a bit of the sauce, and then mozzarella and rolled it up. Excuse me. And then I just poured the remaining sauce on top and put some mixed cheese on it. And so we've got some sour cream, and I've got some lettuce I'm gonna chop up, and then avocados, and we might have some extra tomatoes as well, and we'll put those on top. I do have rice cooking. Some of my kids like it with rice, and that will be our dinner for tonight. Today's dinner is roast beef sandwiches. I just cooked this in my Instant Pot. I'm gonna cook it on slow for probably 8 hours. We'll see. So I'm just gonna chop up some onion, garlic, and jalapeno. Put those in the bottom with a little bit of water, and then put the beef on. And then I'm gonna add some seasonings on top to it, so it's really simple. I'll pull out some ciabatta buns a little later to thaw, and then I'll figure out what we're gonna have on the side. I forgot about celery. I have a little bit left. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Mushrooms are also really good in this. I just don't have any right now. So here's what it looks like right now. I'm gonna add some pepper to it, some salt. This is just the pink sea salt. And then I think today I'm gonna try adding some of this Cajun seasoning. Sounds good. So let's add a little bit. And then I have half a cup of water in the bottom, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on slow cook for, let's see, probably 7.5 hours, and then I'll check it and see if I need to do like some pressure cooking after just to make sure it's done. So this is what it looks like. I'm just checking the temperature. It's nice and fully cooked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to thicken this up with a bit of cornstarch and pull this apart and take the tray part out and just let it sit in the water keep warm until we're ready to eat it. And I'm gonna chop up some French fries and make some oven fries real quick. So here's mine. I forgot mustard and got some mustard out. It's also really good with Caesar dressing instead of mayo. It's a mess, but that's okay, that's how I like it. Some fries, and then like I said, we've got some carrots and apples and things like that, and that is dinner for tonight. It is a cold, rainy day here, so we need a nice warm dinner, and it's kind of a cross between $1 million spaghetti and like a lasagna meat type dish. Oh, my kids. So what it is it's some ground beef cooked with some Italian sausage meat, and then spaghetti sauce and cheese and cottage cheese and noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead and start just prepping a few things to put in the sauce. Probably gonna keep it pretty simple because it's late and I need to get dinner going. It seems like a theme. I'm always making dinner late. So let's get started. So I just drained the noodles. What I'm gonna do is just put the sauce in there just so they can mix. And I think I made too much sauce or not enough noodles, depending on the way you look at it. I'm hoping to have leftovers, but I may end up with more leftovers than I intended. That's okay, it'll get eaten. Some of my kids love spaghetti type food and a couple don't like it at all. Just gonna give that a quick mix. forgot to add cilantro as well. And sometimes I add like shredded zucchini if we have it, or spinach if we have it. Just kind of going by what we have, so. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just kind of layer it. I'm gonna use this big Dutch oven that I have. I'm gonna go ahead and put half of this on there in the bottom. Let's see, that's about half. And just spread it around. Maybe I'll move you to this side so you can see. And what I'm gonna do is I have a container of cottage cheese. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of sprinkle it around. You could definitely mix this and like make it really nice, but this works. I'm gonna get all that out and spread it around. And then I've got some Parmesan cheese here I'm gonna put on. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put the rest on as a top layer. Yeah, there's a lot of food here. Where did my spatula? I'm just going to spread that around, and then I'm going to add some shredded cheese on top. Have some mozzarella and some regular cheese, or it's a mixed cheese. And this is cheese that we buy in bars and then shred ourselves. So it can be a little more clumpy because it doesn't have that agent on it that they put on to keep it from clumping together. But it works just fine for us. That's probably plenty. Put some of the other cheese on it. Put the lid on and put it in the oven at 425. I'll check on it in about 20 minutes, but I probably need about half an hour. The food is almost ready to come out. We've got some bread, some French bread cut up. We've got some salad left from the other day, some toppings for it, and this will be our dinner tonight. I hope this has given you some new fall recipes to try. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite fall meal is. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.